I love you, Mons.
Yeah, I know that.
You gotta say I love you back.
Dad, are you serious?
I wanna hear it.
You wanna hear me
I
say
love
it?
you, Dad.
You're driving me
I
off to
love
school?
you, Dad.
Look at this place.
Dad, I love you.
Dad, you know how we do it. I love you.
You can't Johnny Brown, wake up. You really believe that? You think that's air that you are breathing? You think that's money you receive? You the currency, fool. Don't be listening to these rappers. Don't be listening to these trappers. Don't be listening to these rappers. Rappers don't talk about shit no more.
This experiment involves establishing an imprinted behavior pattern in the rat that is rewarded. First, the rat has to learn that it must perform a certain action, pressing the bar, independently of the unconditioned response, in order to gain the unconditioned stimulus, the food. As a result, the rat develops an acquired response. Once it begins to understand the logic of the sequence, the rat is able to obtain food whenever it feels hungry.
Hold on, I got one more. Hold on.
Pale albino rats. What do you think is the reason for the difference in their behavior? The animal on the left is hungry. The one on the right, with the food in his cage, is satiated. How will this difference in drive affect their... In order to see whether the difference in drive will produce a difference in learning, we're going to use an apparatus with two identical compartments. One for the animal that is very hungry, and another for the animal that is not hungry. At the outside end of each compartment is a food delivery apparatus. This consists of a stirrup-shaped bar placed above a food dish. Pressing the bar delivers a small pellet of food into the dish immediately below. We will now put the hungry and the satiated animals into the apparatus and watch for differences in learning. After being put in an unfamiliar environment, both animals are active. But the hungry animal is somewhat more active. The hungry animal remains active, but as the satiated one becomes adapted to the new environment, he settles down and becomes inactive. Watch the wide variety of responses which the hungry animal makes. Since each of these responses occurs without reward, it is soon displaced by a new response. The behavior is variable. What responses do you think the other rat is making? The satiated rat is inactive. But even if he had hit the bar and got a pellet, food would not be a reward without the drive of hunger. The hungry rat is active. He stands up near the bar, but just misses it. The correct response of pressing the bar cannot be rewarded and learned until it occurs. He approaches the food device, stands up near the bar, presses it, but since he does not see the pellet and the food cup, he is not rewarded. Now he finds the pellet and is rewarded for approaching the food cup. From now on, he confines more of his activity to the region of the food dish.
Okay, so hold on, wait. So look, there's no sound but that I just showed you with the rats. It's no different than this. It's no different. They're watching you from above, the same way that they would a rat. Hmm? I mean, it is the same shit. It's conditioning. That's a part of what we're going to talk about. These games that they play. There's so many games that's being played. A lot of them. We'll be back.
I be God Rock 369.
Okay, so I had to let my tab charge clearly. So we're gonna go off my phone until that motherfucker go. It's trying to go too. But it's got Wikipedia, which I'm trying to use in the first place. So. Well, my first thing that I wanted to start off with, because I wanted to show you a little brief. You know what I mean? I might have threw an intermission in here somewhere, so bear with me. I was trying to show you similarities between conditioning. Conditioning is a game that they play with you. They're conditioning you or making you, you're the puppet. You get it? They're showing you different things, feeding you different information and things like that to wake you up. What are they trying to wake you up for? Sleeping giant. Because it's a whole game. You are a chess piece. They need kings and queens back. Hmm? It's a game, Pay. I'm just being real. There's a whole checkerboard. You got to understand what the checkerboard represents. Checkerboard represents child's play. Because, kids play checkers. But there's so many other games that are played on that board because that board is called a drought board. Drought in Old English would be draft. In English, when you draft, you're doing a preliminary or a plan. Hmm? Yeah. Oh, yeah, we finna get there. So a drought board or a draft board, checkerboard, chessboard, all the same thing. They use that to make strategic plans on you. This is One big ass chessboard. You ain't gotta ask me. You ain't gotta believe me. It's the World Wide Web. You see people wearing checkerboards all the time. Those are the people who are aware of what they got going on. Some of them, no, but a lot of them in the business world that have the checkerboard button ups on and stuff, yeah, those are key players. They know those are Masons and things like that. They are key players. They know the game that's being played. Hmm? You got to know the game. You got to know the game, and then you got to stop playing that game. And I'll tell you what I mean by that, right? Because it's conditioning at its best. They got y'all ass. They do it to you every year, and you still do it every year, as I said. And then they do it with every holiday now. They didn't used to do it with every holiday, but now they do it with Thanksgiving. They do it with the 4th of July. They do it with every holiday. But let's talk about the conditioning as far as Black Friday. We already know what the word black means. It means to, it's two words there. Because be is a word of its own and lack is another word. So they telling you to be lack. And when you call yourself black, that's what you're telling your subconscious mind. You're saying be lack, have nothing, be dirt poor, which is the sin. It ain't the root of all evil. It's not having it what makes it evil. Because then you're willing to do whatever it takes to get it, which is the sin. Hmm? When you know that you are the currency, you, my friend, are the currency. You are what makes this all work for yourself. You are your own savior. You're saving yourself. Save yourself. Okay, so back to Black Friday. Because you're giving that way to that's a whole ritual. They got you on the whole York rite, Scottish rite. You're practicing rituals on a daily basis now. Whether you realize it or not, you are practicing Satan's rituals on a daily basis. Right? Because each day has its own ritual within. Black Fridays. It's a whole days, right? Friday or Fry comes from Frigga, which is the wife of Odin. Who is Odin, you say? An Asgardian, a king, so to speak, from a whole nother land you thought that Thor and the Asgards and things like that, you thought they was coming up with this stuff on their own? They're that brilliant? How do you believe that they are that fucking smart? Make that make sense. They come from you. And they fooling you, fooling you. Everybody plays the fool sometime. Because you're playing it. And I said that in the huh. Hey, Jeremy, I know you heard me. What? Yeah, you heard that. I had hit that note, too. Anyway, man, look, so yeah, we're gonna get back into Frigga, right? Because that's the wife of Odin, which is Norse mythology, right? Let's look up that word Norse before we go any further. We're gonna look up Norse and where Norse comes from, so we can get to it. Norse mythology. Put my Captain America's on. Oh, a nigga's trying to read. Norse or Nordic or Scandinavian mythology is the body of myths belonging to the North Germanic people, stemming from Old Norse religion and continuing after. So, before we go there, that was about us. Because North Germanic, that just means that, the people who worshiped us as being gods and goddesses because they seen the miraculous and things that we could do. Some of us was flying, some of us was shooting fire and electricity out of our hands. They tell you exactly what you used to do. You thought they was coming up with that stuff, Magneto? No, no, no. You were doing these things. These are factual things that Luminous, the Lunakai gods, can do when you master yourself. As I've always said, this is what you're supposed to be doing is mastering yourself so you can escape the light code lockdown, which is known as prison here today that you think you're free from. Hmm? Okay, let's dive back into that. Who are the 12 gods of the Norse mythology? You have Odin, Thor, Bladder, Vidar, Vel, Brag, Heimdall, Ty, Njord, Froy, U2, whatever that is, and Froset. Those are let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, it's 12. My bad. 12. It's 12 of them. Oh, no, I'm lying. It's 13 because low key is one of them as well. That is not the same low key that I have on my neck. I knew nothing about that when I put low key on my neck. When I put low key on my neck, I was 20, I was gang banging, and I was the quiet motherfucker, and that's what the low key meant. They knew that if they told me any motherfucking thing about some shit going on, it was going down. I was the quiet one, laid back, cool. You tell me when you want some shit to happen. That's what I was. That's anyway. That's a long story. Make a long story short. You know what I mean? Say again. Oh no, it was trying to rain or sprinkle or whatever. So facts, 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 facts. I got every ass whooping I got. I got. It was well deserved. Not at all. Yeah, it was well deserved. I got my ass whipped, but my mom. Well, yeah, it worked. Shit, it worked. Well, kinda. It kinda worked on me, but it did. It did. Anyway, that was my daughter. Back to these Germanic gods that were loving us, that they named the day after us. The wife of Odin. The wife of Odin. Frigga. Hmm. Okay, so that's enough about them. So now you know what the Black Frigga. They want you to be lack for Frigga and have a good days. Wow, imagine that. Yeah, okay. We at that segment almost already. I done dug down into it. Dug down into it. So, it's a lot of misconceptions going on about who is the Native Americans and who are the indigenous people. So, clearly, you got a bunch of Native Americans that believe that they are the mothers and fathers of civilization, and that none of us were here before the slave trade. This is what the agenda is. This is what they are trying to do. This is what they want to erase us from being here in the Americas. So we cannot say that we are indigenous. But we know differently. We know the facts. We know fact is that our ancestors that were over here were the indigenous people as well as giants. Hmm? These are facts that we can stand on that we know because they're finding too many bones calling these T Rexes and things. No, these are giants. These so called things that they call dinosaurs. We're gonna get that's a whole nother segment. That's a whole nother segment. So back into that, right? With the people who think that they are the true indigenous people and wanna claim that your genome sequence says different, my friend. I know that you want to stand on being original to this land, but you are not. Some of you, yes. Some of you were here, yes. Because you looked like me, hmm? As far as the Redskins go. Some of you look like me. But these Siberians or wherever they came from, who came over here and got the land after um, the enslavement of my people, that doesn't make you indigenous. You've been here for a long time, but you're not indigenous to the land. Your genome sequence says exactly that. As my genome sequence says, I am from the land, right here. You can look into my eyes or on my facial structure and you can see the weird jaguar or the X. You understand? You can see the X inside my hand. You understand? Those right there are qualities of people who can tie themselves to this land. Hmm? If you have these things, you are of the Amaru Nation or the Omics, the Tutoshi, the children of the weird jaguar, the sun. There's so many titles for you. Giants. It was different species here then as well. You got different, like, because of there's an ice wall. On one side there was us, the other side there were the Lemurians. And how do I know this? From research, study. I know that this is a flat surface. I know they've been lying to us for a long time, folks. They've been telling us things. But anyway, we're gonna get back into what we were really talking about. I'm gonna get down to it. They've been lying to us about this land. So here we go, right? So the last one of my last videos, I was talking about the Pequots and how they were destroyed or how they were massacred. It was the Pequot massacre. You know what I'm saying? They were when they got tired of warring with them. So the Pequots were in the land of were in the in Massachusetts area. I believe the Pequots was right there in between Rhode Island and uh, Connecticut, maybe somewhere in there, right? But they had the Wampano, yeah, the Wampano who were right there in the front. Those are the Wampanos are some of the people who sided with the Pilgrims or the Puritans, and they helped destroy the Pequot. And I say that with great confidence because we know that there's always duality. There's two sides to every story, two sides to everything, two sides to any faction or anything that you're trying to do. Right? Two sides of anything that you're trying to do. There's a positive side and there's going to be a negative side. There's an agreeable side, there's going to be a disagreeable side. There's a happy side, there's going to be a sad side. That's just how the shit works. Solid, liquid, fire, ice. You get it? Okay, so the dualities. And I'll say that what I mean by that is the Wapanos are some of the people who helped out the Puritans to wipe out the Pequots. Because the Wapanos, their name is people of the first light. Hmm? So they felt like they were there first. But that ain't what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it was that's they knew what they knew what the Pequots were capable of because the Pequots, their name meant people, or I should say the destroyer, people of the wolf. Hmm? So now ask yourself, hmm? Ask yourself, my good people, Pequot means destroyer or people of the wolf. If you were the Puritans and you heard that they were called destroyers, the people of the wolf, wouldn't you do some crazy shit to them? I'm just saying, like, if say you was, fresh to a new land and you pulled up and they was like, hey man, don't let them motherfucking wild ass Pequots see your ass, boy. Them motherfucking Pequots would take y'all ass out of here, but we fucking with y'all right now. Huh? That's how that shit went down. The Wapanos said, look, man, we fucking with y'all. The Pequots are not gonna like y'all. Don't go over there fucking with the Pequots, because they're gonna get you. Mhm. You know human nature. You know how that shit works. Some of y'all humans don't know. You can't tell a motherfucking not to do some shit. Yeah, you can't tell some of the guys that. They jump right into the mix. What you mean? Nah, nigga, I'm doing it. The fuck? Not to go over there. And they go right over there and see what the fuck they got. What they got over there. Some shit I ain't got. Let me go find the fuck out. That's how that shit works. And they went over there fucking with the Pequots. Seen that the Pequots land over there. That shit was lit. It was nice and they had it set up the way they loved it, the way it was doing for them. And the Wapanos, they had a nice little spot, but they wasn't lit like the Pequots, clearly. You feel me? Clearly the Pequot shit was really lit. They had a whole lot of more shit going on than the I wanna say that Narragansetts, the people of the small points, they were all in that area as well. Hmm? It's a bunch of them that was in that area of Massachusetts, in that area. A lot of that stuff was going on. The people had it lit when the motherfucking pilgrims pulled up and seen they spot, and they was like, I gotta have it over there. I like how they do it. And the Wapano told them, no, don't go back over there. Don't go back over there. Leave them alone. They're gonna do something to you. That scared the pilgrims. The pilgrims said, okay, we got to get rid of them to get that land. That's the only way we're going to get it is if we get rid of them. And hence the Pequot Massacre. I'm giving you the short but real story. Okay? That's all it is. That's what it boiled down to. They went over there, seen that shit was lit, and said, I got to have it. But that's my shit. I'm finna go over there and get all of that shit. Yeah, that's what they did. Yeah, that's exactly what they did. Mm. So, I was saying that, all of that to say this. I thought I had a whole lot more to talk to y'all about, but I really don't. I just wanted to chop it up about that. So yeah, that's how they got the land right there. They fooled us. They fooled the ones that pulled up on them and act like they was all good. And then while they were sleeping, and then they sent somebody over to their camp to burn up the fucking Pequots. That made the vibration fall for everybody. That began it all. I should say that was the beginning of the war. Mm. We've been going through these games that people play for quite a long time now, and I don't know how long it's gonna take before y'all realize or decide that y'all want to be done with it. Mm. Tell me, cause this shit's for the birds. Okay, man. So look, y'all just taking this one, playing around with this app, and I just wanted to take a little time out to chop it up with y'all. You know what I mean? Cause I don't get to really just chop it up and tell y'all about me. You know what I mean? My first name is Ramon. Middle name is Lee. Last name Shurn. That's my government. Excuse me. Been drinking this little frozen drink. Getting in my, got some. When you got bad teeth, you got bad teeth. I ain't bullshit. We gonna talk real shit right now, though. Talk to y'all some real shit. It's hard out here, yo. You gonna have to buckle down, yo. You gonna have to buckle down, cause it's finna get harder. The agenda is about to change. If you get a chance, you need to go watch that movie on Tubi, Blacks and UFOs. It's informative. It tells you about what's going on, how everything. It's a really good pick. Really good pick. Let me see, man, if I can pull up a trailer. Pull up a trailer. folks. All right, you ready?
What do you mean? Like a being is inside of her. That's what I mean. Like something is in her.
You have picked the Kalub stone of difficulty.
Difficulty? What does that mean?
The need for restraint is unquestionable here. Picking the stone makes you conscious of the fact that there will be holdups and grounds to review your plans carefully.
There's no need to be afraid.
Okay. That was them, the government, giving you some information, as I've talked to you before. Every time I sneeze, then I end up with a fucking sniffle. I don't have any tissue down here. I hate it. I hate using the word hate. So let me stop doing that. We'll be back to you. Coming back to you, Tabitha, because you got a little on there that we're going to tap into real quick. Yeah, y'all. Excuse me. Excuse me. I know that was kind of. Hmm. It's all right. You ain't kissing me. So, uh, back to this draft board. Draft. That word draft. That word draft. What is a draft? Other than a plan, it's a drawing. It's a draft copy. Hmm? You draft beer. Use that word a lot. Drought. The beer is drought beer. Hmm? Stout. Drought beer. Yeah. They use these words. They use these words to describe spirits inside of a bottle that we in turn drink and turn up on. Those would be called moves in the game. We use the words as well. What you have to do, man? I'm out here making moves, man. Come on, man. Playing the game and don't even know you're playing the game. I'm playing the game right now with y'all too. It's called Information Pass. Get it? Hmm? Throwing information, dropping jewels like a Jew. My bad. Didn't mean it like that. I heard it in a rap. Okay. I didn't say it. Somebody else said it. Make them shut up. Try. Draft. A preliminary version of a piece of writing. The first draft of the party's manifesto. Or a compulsory recruitment for military. I avoided the draft. The house is kind of drafty. They got a lot of ways to use that word draft, but they didn't tell you that they use it for the draft board. They told you it was a chess board or a checker board. Hmm? But a lot of these things that they do over here in America pertains to Who? England. England calls it a drought or a draft board. They actually call it a drought board. Hmm? These are things people use to play games and plan preliminary equations on you. But we just chopping it up. Hmm? We talking about the games that people play. We ain't digging deep off into no maps or breaking off into too many. I might bust another video open to show y'all some crazy shit that went on. 'Cause it's always something crazy going on. In the A, if you're from Atlanta, you'll never have a dull moment. No such thing. If you're bored, it's because you're not outside. And those are facts. You you go outside, you're guaranteed to see some shit somewhere. I don't care. Something's gonna happen somewhere. Give it a little time. It only takes a few minutes. Shit, they turns the fuck up down here on your ass. The popo, the slave chaser. Oh, we have finally got there to the slave chaser because I got that badge. Did you see? Did you notice your dad, the tags that they gave to your ancestors? It said servant. It was little dog tags and shit. Had motherfuckers walking around with like they were fucking pets. Did you see that? They said, let's make America great again. Are we gonna do that? Fuck no. America never was great. Not ever. America is built on the back of slaves, indigenous people, and other motherfuckers who sold us out, Uncle Tom's, Thomasina's, and these motherfuckers that claim to be Native Americans, the Wapos. Look, man, we know that y'all took money to get here. We know that they gave y'all the land. All of these things are known facts and documents. I mean, come on. They taught us that in school, in history class, that you guys are not really, you were sent on a trail of tears, is what they said. They also didn't tell you that the majority of the indigenous people were reclassified. We went from being niggas to Negroes. Well, first, we went from indigenous to niggas to Negroes to blacks to African Americans, briefly back to Negroes, briefly back to niggas because we started using that. Then we took the steam right out of nigga anyway. Back to African American, which that's the furthest thing from the truth because they just want to have credit for bringing you here. They say this is their land. They brought you to the land. Ridiculousness, foolishness, and fuckery. And then here's the kicker: if you go and give them DNA to say, test my DNA, because I know that I am indigenous to the land, they take that DNA and disprove it and use it for other things. Your DNA is used against you. They don't want you to have the land. The only access to the land that they want you to have is farming it. They want you to be the help. They don't want you to own anything, to have anything. And quite frankly, we don't want to own it. We don't want them to own it. That's the whole thing. Hmm? We told them when they fucking came, you can't own Kai. Kai owns you. Hmm? You can't own Kai. You can't. How can you own something that you come from? Make it make sense. That's like somebody claiming the universe as being just theirs. One person. The universe is mine. You fool. It's a collective consciousness. It's a multiverse for us all. You get that? Multiverse? They came up with that universe shit because they only wanted you to believe in one God. But it's a multiverse. There's so many verses. Even you got some. You got bars too. But that was just a little play on the words. I'm just saying, y'all. I'm playing around. We out here, we're just chopping it up. That's all. Whatever little Jews drop out that I spill, I spill. That's all I've been doing. That's all this one is about. I didn't really have too much things to say. I just had a little, some stuff I wanted to go over about the checkerboard. I wanted y'all to stop going on playing, participating in these bullshit ass Black Fridays because you ain't doing shit, but giving them back the money that you didn't work for. I wanted to touch on the David and Goliath. Oh, so here's a little story, right? And I think I'm gonna do a whole nother little segment on that. Jack and the Beanstalk was actually true. Did y'all know? Do you really realize the Jack and the Beanstalk was true? Look at some of these mountains that people are climbing, right? Notice how they have the same kind of shapes on the mountains. Just because it's petrified, now don't fool yourself. Look at tree bark. Look at a tree. Notice how the tree bark post up on the fucking tree all the way up. Imagine that motherfucker if it was cut down or broke off in a jagged way. And then it petrified. Because we're going to talk about petrification. You didn't think I was going to get there, did you? I've been talking about petrification a lot. Petrification comes from actually a light, a high beam light source. Say it like that. It's a flashing type thing that petrifies things. What does that sound like? Huh? Does that sound like that neuralizer that was in yeah, it does. Flash. Petrified. Frozen. High pitches, high frequency noise. What do you think happens? A flash bomb. You ever had a flash bomb or you ever seen how flash bombs do? So imagine that on a big scale. If they have it here on a micro scale where we are, imagine it on a macro scale. Scale. Scale, same thing. Imagine that on a bigger scale. Hmm? So, okay, the moon reflects the land from below, as above, so below. If you look at the moon, I'm telling you, you're going to listen. Now, listen, you're going to get there. If you look at the moon, you'll see a reflection of the land from below. Hmm? When you look into this black mirror, what do you see? The reflection from behind it, correct? You with me now? You with me now? The moon is the neuralizer. Let me Let me give you a. So you notice how it would be a black mirror, correct? You see, space is like that, right? So just imagine everything black. Then the bright light, the flash. Just think about it. I mean, come on. Bright light sources, flashing bomb, a flash bomb. And people who have been in a flash bomb are petrified. They can't move until it wears off. Did you not know that? Hmm? You can't move until the flash bomb shit wears off. It's a whole high frequency thing that goes on with the light and that noise, that high frequency ringing in thy ears. It happens even when you see it on the movies. So why couldn't it have happened? You know why you don't believe it? Because you've never seen the moon at its full power. You've only seen the bright light on full. You ain't never seen it at its full peak. The bright flash that came in the first fucking place to get your motherfucking ass disassembled. Just saying. And this grid that they're building is going to do that same thing. Yeah, they got a lot of plans for you, a lot of drafts. Eni, chill out, girl. You're messing up my video. Yeah, chill out. Shut up, please. Then that's retarded. I just participated in a whole stupid thing. I'm telling tell nature how to be nature. Anyway, are you with me? Hmm? Are you with me? We were talking about the neuralizer and what the moon is. People call it a Mr. You know, I'm not saying Rashad Jamal was wrong on that. He says a hologram. Facts. Facts. It's a hologram of a neuralizer. And they can turn that bitch on from wherever they fucking are remotely. It sounds very, very crazy, I know. Because it sounds super crazy to me. But then I know how flash bombs work, and I know that that's petrification. I know that it doesn't take 5,000 to 10,000 years to petrify some shit. They lie so fucking much. You can't trust a word that comes out of their fucking mouths. Excuse my fucking language. But it is what it is. And until we all collectively raise our vibration, we'll be collectively walking around being targets. You may as well put a motherfucking red sticker on your fucking forehead that says, kill me first. Because you're not trying to rise. Some of y'all out here still trying to sell drugs and shit. Some of y'all out here think that that's the way to go, that you're gonna make it big on that. Nigga, the only motherfuckers that make it big selling drugs are white people. The niggas that make it big selling drugs, they take them down, lock them away, call them kingpins. Hmm? They got a whole label for that. You don't believe me? You ain't gotta ask me. Right, Ricky Ross. Right, the American Gangster. Right, all of these niggas. Franklin White. You gave me if all of these niggas that's in jail right now from trying to be kingpins, write them a letter and ask them. They'll tell you. Hmm? They'll tell you. But I didn't have no plane. I didn't bring the shit in. I wasn't flying in shit. I just bought the shit and tried to resell it. Fell for the okie doke. Games people play. Play games with their own motherfucking freedom. And that's another game because you're not free. Yeah, it ain't free, man. Emancipation Proclamation signed your ass into slavery. You were free before that. Yeah, I said it. Lincoln was a whole piece of shit. That's why his fucking coin is brown and they're facing the opposite direction from his ass. They play with you with the money, the games that people play. Hmm? Did you know that? They didn't really turn on Lincoln. They just wanted you to think they turned on Lincoln. He was one of them. Lincoln did not fuck with you. He only freed the so-called niggas, as he said, to keep the Union in the South. If it didn't destroy the Union, hmm, that's all he said. Can we keep it as long as we all can stay good and tight? He wasn't talking about us. He was talking about them. He said, I don't want to free them, but if it's going to keep us all from fighting with each other again like we did over there, I would let their asses go. And that's what he did. Freed them from one hand to another. Hmm? Freedom from the slave masters, freedom from the slave masters' hands, took them right out of the slave masters' hands, said, give me that. These belong to Uncle Sam now. We're going to put social security numbers on all of these fuckers. And they're going to make us more money. And then we're going to start charging everybody, even you, little farmer guy, that we just stole the slaves from. I promise you, that's what they did. That's what goes on. That's how the fucking corporation works. Corporational shit is crazy. Give me those little niggers over there. I'll take them off your hand. Freed you from one hand to another. And you thought you were getting free. You got free from your massa and got a new massa. Ho. Uncle Sam said, hey, put a dress on, bitch. Get out there. Niggas thought they was talking to him. And that's what they did. They started putting on dresses. They even started naming niggas what they was doing. What was his name? Flip Wilson, because he was flipping into a bitch. No disrespect. I don't mean any disrespect, but I give you the names in the industry of characteristics in some point, and his name was Flip Wilson. He flipped over and did whatever the fuck they wanted him to do to get the money. He was like your boy. It's gonna come to me. Tip top, tippity tip, 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 top of the tip, tip. Sammy Davis Jr. Sammy boy, he was a whole motherfucking Tom if I'd never seen one before in my life. And I ain't saying I don't fuck with Sam. Sammy Davis Jr. did phenomenal things. Nothing for you, but he did phenomenal things. He helped them people raise money that they kept and embezzled. Said they was giving it to other folks, but man, they was running rackets. That's why they call themselves the Rat Pack. Yeah, the Rat Pack. You know? Why would you want to fuck with them motherfuckers anyway? They named themselves after a rat. The Rat Pack. Them niggas was snitching. They must have been. They called themselves the Rat Pack. Every last one of them sung like a motherfucker. Okay, anyway. Uncle Tom's. The industry is full of them. You want to stay away from a lot of these ones that's going to come back right now. This little wave that they have of these motherfuckers out right now. Have you seen the album cover of 2 Chainz? I fuck with 2 Chainz, don't get me wrong. I gotta go in a minute. I'm gonna make some french fries.
She said that tender was her kiss and that I miss being held by her sweet embrace.
Amy, be quiet, girl. Okay, so I wish I could rewind and remember what I was talking about. I got sidetracked. I was talking about the people in the industry. The ones that's coming right now that's finna be watching them. Talking about P. Diddy right now, they finna hang him by his fucking balls. He been saying for a long time that, he was scared of what was gonna go on. Had to know they had some shit planned for him. That was him pleading out, trying to plea out for all that shit he did with Epstein. Anyway, a lot of that shit going on with that Pizzagate shit. They getting the fuck out there. They getting their asses. If you had any goddamn motherfucking thing to do with some Pizzagate and Jeffrey Epstein shit, your ass is going down. So. Yeah, a lot of shit going on with that shit. Your boy Ludacris is coming back out right now. I ain't gonna say too much about Ludacris because I fuck with him because he ain't from the A, but he represented. But I just he's one of the only ones that ain't really got in no trouble. And those ones be the ones that be done some shit that I'm just saying, man. I'm gonna leave that shit alone. We gonna dig off into it. Just watch it, man. But here you go for the album cover, man. This is what 2 Chainz new album cover of him and fucking. It's got 2 Chainz with his fucking eyes closed. If that's not subliminal shit, I don't know what it is. You tell me. I mean, you the one listening to it. But that's crazy that his fucking album cover, the picture, Chainz with his eyes closed. That's subliminal. You know what he's saying? Putting y'all ass back to sleep. All y'all that's done woke up and still listening to me, putting your ass back to sleep. That's what they trying to do. That's the agenda. Anybody who is woke right now, still listening to the low vibrational bullshit, they're trying to put your ass back to sleep. Get off the bullshit now. Peace to the gods and goddesses. I will be back. Enjoy this little intermission.